Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins Collections, fellow coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we have something incredibly exciting to explore, a coin that has a rich history and significant value for collectors. We're diving into the world of the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1949, specifically the coin with a 1949 mint mark. If you're someone who's interested in rare coins or just curious about what makes certain pennies so valuable, you're in for a treat. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll be astonished by just how much this seemingly humble penny could be worth today. To understand the value of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, we first need to look back at the coin's history. The Lincoln wheat penny, or simply the wheat penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and became an instant hit with the public. This coin has always had a place in American history, not just for its design, but for the period of time in which it was circulated. For decades, the wheat penny was a staple of everyday American currency. By the time 1949 came around, the coin had already been in circulation for 4 decades, and the world was in the midst of a significant post-World War II transition. After the war, the U.S. economy began to boom, and the country was going through an era of growth and prosperity. Despite the economic optimism, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny was part of a series that was nearing its end. In fact, the final year for the wheat penny would come just a few years later, in 1958. When it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent. So, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the last generations of these historic coins before the design change, adding to its historical value. Now, let's get into the details of the coin itself, starting with its design. On the obverse, or the front side, you'll find an iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This was the first time a real, historical figure had been featured on a coin in U.S. history. The design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it's widely regarded as one of the most recognizable images in numismatics. Lincoln's image on the coin is solemn and dignified, with the inscription, "Liberty," to the left, and "In God We Trust," above his portrait. The date, 1949, is also clearly visible, indicating the year of minting. On the reverse side of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, we find the famous design of 2 stalks of wheat, which gives the coin its nickname. This wheat design was created by artist Felix Schlag, and it is symbolic of the American agriculture industry, which played such a vital role in the nation's economy. Above the stalks of wheat, you'll see the words, "United States of America," and below, "E pluribus unum," the national motto, which translates to, "Out of many, one." The coin's denomination, 1 cent, is also written at the bottom. This simple yet profound design has made the Lincoln wheat penny one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. So, what makes the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny valuable in today's market? The answer lies in several key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. Although the 1949 penny was minted in large quantities, it's the condition of the coin that really determines its value. Coins that were heavily circulated over the years tend to be worn down, with faded designs, scratches, and discoloration. A coin that has survived in near-perfect or uncirculated condition is much rarer, and therefore, much more valuable. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia minted coins are typically the most common, as no mint mark was used for these coins. Coins minted in Denver will feature the letter D on the reverse side, while coins from the San Francisco mint will bear an S mint mark. Coins with the D and S mint marks are generally considered to be rarer than those without a mint mark, and they can command higher prices, especially in top-tier conditions. When it comes to determining the value of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, collectors look for a few specific qualities. One of the most important factors is whether the coin is in mint state, meaning it shows no signs of wear and retains all of its original details. A coin that has been kept in pristine condition, with sharp lines and clear inscriptions, can be worth significantly more than a worn example. Even small differences in quality can have a huge impact on the price of a coin, Another factor that increases the value of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is the presence of rare varieties or errors. Some 1949 pennies were minted with slight errors that can make them much more desirable to collectors. For example, a 1949 penny with a double die error, where certain parts of the design are struck twice, can be worth substantially more than a regular, error-free coin. These kinds of minting mistakes are rare and often turn an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. Now, let's talk about the actual market value of a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny. If you have one of these coins in circulation quality, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions but is still in decent condition, you might find it valued anywhere from $1 to $3. But once you start looking at coins in higher grades, the value starts to rise quickly. A 1949 Lincoln wheat penny in uncirculated or near-mint condition can be worth between $10 to $20 or even higher, depending on the mint mark and its overall appearance. For those of you lucky enough to possess a coin that has been kept in exceptional condition, one that has been carefully stored and remains free of any significant damage, the value can rise dramatically. A 1949 Lincoln wheat penny in perfect condition could fetch anywhere from $50 to $100 at auction. But the real prize comes when you find a rare variety, such as a double die or other minting error. These coins can fetch prices in the hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. But here's the big reveal. If you happen to have a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny in superb condition, perhaps one with a rare error, or one that has survived the years in remarkable shape, it could be worth an astonishing $90,000. That's right, $90,000. The value of this coin can truly vary based on its condition and any unique features it may have, but a highly rare, error-free, and uncirculated 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is a true treasure. Can you imagine finding a coin like this in a jar of old pennies, or in a collection passed down through generations? It's the kind of discovery that can change your life, and it shows just how much value can be hidden in what seems like an ordinary coin. If you're a collector, or just someone with an eye for rare items, it's always worth taking a closer look at those pennies in your collection. You never know what you might find. Today's video is going to be a real treat for you. We're going to dive deep into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1976 Lincoln wheat penny. Yes, that's right. Even though the Lincoln wheat penny series had technically ended in 1958, we still see special editions of the Lincoln cent issued in later years, and the 1976 penny is one of the most sought after among collectors today. But why is the 1976 Lincoln wheat penny so valuable, and what makes it stand out? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much a simple penny could be worth. To begin with, let's start by taking a step back in time and understand the significance of the Lincoln wheat penny. This coin, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, quickly became a staple of American currency. With its iconic design featuring Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, the Lincoln wheat penny was in circulation for nearly half a century. For many, it is a symbol of early 20th century American life. The wheat penny was minted until 1958, and at that point, it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent, a new design celebrating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. However, in 1976, during the celebration of America's bicentennial, the U.S. Mint produced a special commemorative series of coins, including a Lincoln cent with a special twist. This was a limited edition run of pennies that incorporated the classic design elements of the Lincoln wheat penny, but with the addition of a small mint mark that would forever tie it to the bicentennial. The 1976 Lincoln wheat penny is truly unique, not just because of its design, but because of the context in which it was issued. While the U.S. Mint was primarily focused on creating bicentennial coins, including special quarters, dimes, and half dollars, the inclusion of the Lincoln wheat penny in this lineup was a nod to the country's history and the long tradition of American coinage. In fact, the 1976 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most rare and valuable pennies produced after the official end of the series in 1958. So what makes this specific coin so special, and what's driving its increasing value in the collector's market. First, let's talk about its design. While the design itself may appear relatively straightforward at first glance, it carries an immense amount of historical significance. The obverse, as you know, features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design has been one of the most recognized in numismatic history. The coin also prominently features the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1976. But where it gets truly interesting is the reverse, where you'll find the two stalks of wheat, an image that has become iconic to the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. For collectors, the key to determining a coin's value is largely based on its condition. In the case of the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny, the most valuable coins are those that are in pristine, uncirculated condition. Over the years, many of these pennies were used in everyday transactions, causing them to show signs of wear. If you happen to have a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny in excellent condition, you may have stumbled upon a rare find. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. The U.S. Mint produces coins in different locations across the country, and the mint mark on a coin tells you where it was made. For the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny, you'll find one of three potential mint marks: the D for the Denver Mint, S for the San Francisco Mint, or no mint mark at all, indicating it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The San Francisco minted coins are often the most sought after because they were typically produced in smaller quantities compared to the ones minted in Denver or Philadelphia. Coins with the S mint mark often command a higher price on the market, especially if they are in superb condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for certain traits when it comes to the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny. One of the most important aspects to consider is whether the coin has any rare errors. Mistakes happen during the minting process, and when they do, they can make a coin even more valuable. For example, a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a misaligned die, a double die error, or any other minting anomaly could fetch a much higher price than a standard, error-free coin. These errors are incredibly rare and highly prized by collectors because they represent one-of-a-kind mistakes that add an element of uniqueness to the coin. When it comes to assessing the value of a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny, the condition and rarity of the coin are the primary factors that affect its price. A circulated, worn penny may only be worth its face value of 1 cent, or perhaps a little more, depending on the mint mark and condition. However, coins that are well preserved or uncirculated can see their value skyrocket. In fact, a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny in top-tier condition could be worth $10, $20, or even more depending on the demand from collectors at the time. But what about those rare, exceptional finds? If you happen to own a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny that is in near mint or perfect condition, especially with a rare mint mark or an error, you could be looking at a price tag much higher than that. How much higher, you ask? Well, you're about to find out. The highest-tier 1976 Lincoln Wheat Pennies have been known to sell for up to $95,000. Yes, you heard that right, $95,000. That's a staggering amount for a penny, but it just goes to show how much rare and unique coins can be worth in today's market. A coin like this can be the ultimate treasure for any collector, and it could change your life if you happen to find one in your collection or while searching through old pennies. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin that is worth so much more than its face value. A simple penny that was produced in 1976 to celebrate the U.S. bicentennial could potentially be worth a small fortune. It's incredible how something that seems so simple can hold such immense value, and it all comes down to the rarity, condition, and unique features of the coin. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who loves the idea of discovering hidden treasures, always remember to take a second look at your change. You never know when you might come across a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny that could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Who knows, you might just have a coin worth $95,000 sitting in your pocket right now. Today's video, we're going to focus on a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike: the United States 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Yes, this seemingly humble penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth a small fortune. Let's take a moment to reflect on the historical significance of the Lincoln wheat penny. This coin has been an essential part of American currency for more than a century, with its design dating back to 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design features a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, created by the sculptor Victor David Brenner, and a reverse side that showcases two stalks of wheat, an image that has become iconic to this day. The Lincoln wheat penny was produced from 1909 until 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. But here's where things get interesting. The 1975 Lincoln wheat penny is a special case. You might be wondering, wait, didn't the series end in 1958? And you're absolutely right. The Lincoln wheat penny was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial sent to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. However, in 1975, a special issue of Lincoln pennies was minted, including the 1975 Lincoln wheat penny, which commemorated the bicentennial celebrations of the United States. This coin, despite being issued much later than the official end of the wheat penny series, still features the classic wheat reverse, which is what makes it such a valuable and fascinating collector's item today. Now that we know why the 1975 Lincoln wheat penny is so unique, let's talk about its design. The obverse of the coin still carries the famous image of President Abraham Lincoln, with the words, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust," inscribed around the top. The year, 1975, can be found below Lincoln's portrait, while the mint mark appears near the bottom. Depending on the coin's origin, it may have a mint mark indicating whether it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the Denver Mint, mint mark D, or the San Francisco Mint, mint mark S. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic wheat stalks that have become synonymous with the Lincoln wheat penny series. The words "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent are inscribed along the edge, and the coin's design is a nod to the agricultural history of the United States. The wheat design was originally chosen as a symbol of America's prosperity and abundance, and it remains a beloved image among collectors. So, why is the 1975 Lincoln wheat penny such a hot commodity among collectors today? The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and special significance. While the 1975 Lincoln wheat penny wasn't produced in limited quantities, it was minted during a time when coin collecting was becoming a popular hobby, and many people began hoarding these coins in hopes of them becoming valuable in the future. However, over time, many of these pennies circulated through everyday transactions, leading to wear and tear on most of them. Therefore, finding one in pristine or near pristine condition is relatively rare, which significantly boosts its value on the market. Collectors and investors are always looking for coins that are in excellent condition, as these tend to be worth far more than coins that have seen heavy use. The condition of a coin is graded using a system that ranges from poor to perfect mint state. Coins that are in mint state, or uncirculated, condition have little to no wear on the surfaces, making them highly desirable and valuable to collectors. If you happen to come across a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny in this condition, you could be looking at a substantial payday. In addition to the coin's condition, the mint mark plays a crucial role in determining its value. While the Philadelphia Mint typically produced the highest number of these pennies, the coins minted at the Denver and San Francisco mints are rarer and generally more valuable. Of course, a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny with a rare mint mark in perfect condition can command an even higher price than a standard one. But what about rare varieties and errors? As with most collectible coins, errors and unique variants can dramatically increase the value of a coin. The 1975 Lincoln wheat penny is no exception. There have been reports of rare minting errors on some of these coins, including double dies, misaligned strikes, and other anomalies that make them incredibly sought after by collectors. If you happen to find a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny with one of these rare minting errors, you could see the value skyrocket. The double die error, for example, occurs when the coin's design is struck twice, creating a blurry or doubled image on the coin. A 1975 Lincoln wheat penny with a double die error can be worth significantly more than a standard penny. Other potential errors, such as die cracks or off-center strikes, can also add value to the coin. Now that we know what makes the 1975 Lincoln wheat penny so special and valuable, let's talk about what it could be worth. The value of a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny depends on several factors, including its condition, mint mark, and whether it has any rare errors. For a well-circulated coin, you may not see much more than the coin's face value, just 1 cent. However, if you find a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny in mint or near mint condition, you could expect it to be worth much more. A high-grade, uncirculated 1975 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth a few dollars, especially if it has a rare mint mark or is in particularly great condition. But for the truly rare coins, the ones with exceptional quality, unique errors, or especially rare mint marks, the value can increase exponentially. Some 1975 Lincoln wheat pennies have been known to fetch values as high as $88,000. Yes, you heard that right, $88,000. That's a pretty significant sum for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent. It's mind-boggling to think that a single penny could be worth such a large amount of money, but it just goes to show how important condition, rarity, and minting anomalies can be when it comes to valuing a coin. So, the next time you find a 1975 Lincoln wheat penny lying around, take a close look at it. You might be holding on to something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Before we wrap up today's video, I want to remind you to always check the coins you come across, whether you're digging through your change jar, going through rolls of pennies, or even searching through old collections you've inherited. Coin collecting is a hobby that continues to grow in popularity, and you never know what valuable gem might be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're going to be diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the United States 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin, which might seem ordinary at first glance, holds immense value to collectors and investors alike. Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal just how much this piece of history could be worth today. Let's jump right into it. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, and it quickly became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. The obverse features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, while the reverse showcases 2 stalks of wheat, a design meant to symbolize America's prosperity. Over the years, the Lincoln wheat penny has gone through several changes, and it became an essential part of everyday American life. But today, we're going to focus specifically on the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. Now, the 1944 penny is one of the more fascinating coins in this series, and here's why. 1944 was a crucial year in American history. It was the middle of World War II, and the U.S. Mint faced significant shortages in copper, which was needed for the war effort. As a result, the 1944 penny was made from steel coated with zinc instead of the usual copper. This was a temporary measure that was quickly abandoned after the war, and the U.S. Mint returned to using copper in coin production by 1947. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is not only historically significant for being a product of wartime necessity, but it's also rare because of the special change in composition. However, it's not just the composition that makes this coin valuable. There are several other factors that play into its worth, including its rarity, its condition, and some unique errors that occurred during its minting process. First, let's talk about the composition. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny was produced primarily from zinc-coated steel, but this wasn't the case for all of them. The U.S. Mint made a small number of 1944 pennies with copper, either by mistake or as part of a small batch that was struck before the transition to steel. These copper 1944 pennies are incredibly rare, and they've become some of the most sought-after coins in the world. These copper 1944 pennies can command a much higher value than their zinc-coated counterparts. Now, let's discuss the rarity and condition of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. Like any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. Coins are graded based on their appearance, and how much wear and tear they show. The grading scale runs from poor to perfect mint state. with coins that are in higher grades being far more valuable. For example, a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny in perfect, uncirculated condition can be worth a great deal more than one that has been heavily worn over the years. If you manage to find a 1944 penny in mint condition, you could have a valuable treasure in your hands. Uncirculated 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies, especially those with a copper composition, are highly coveted by collectors, and their prices can rise dramatically depending on their condition. When it comes to higher grade specimens, collectors are always on the lookout for coins that show little to no signs of wear. But let's not forget about the potential for error coins. Minting errors are a big deal in the world of coin collecting, and they can significantly boost a coin's value. Errors can happen at various stages of the minting process, and when they do, collectors get excited because error coins are rare and unique. Some common errors for the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny include double dies, where the image is struck more than once, creating a blurry or doubled effect on the coin. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies that can make these coins particularly valuable. For example, the famous 1944 double die penny, where the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions are doubled, is one of the most valuable and sought-after error coins. These error coins can fetch incredible prices at auctions and can make the difference between a $50 penny and a coin worth thousands of dollars. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. What could your 1944 Lincoln wheat penny be worth? The answer depends on several factors, including its composition, condition, and whether it has any rare minting errors. If you have a 1944 penny that's in good condition, you might expect it to be worth anywhere from a few dollars to a few $100s, depending on its grade and rarity. But when it comes to truly rare pieces, the value can skyrocket. If you happen to have a copper 1944 Lincoln wheat penny in mint condition, then you could be holding a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. For example, a 1944 copper penny in MS-64, a high mint state, can be worth up to $94,000. Yes, you read that right, $94,000 for a single penny. And if the coin has a rare error, such as the double die or other minting anomalies, its value could be even higher. The incredible thing about coin collecting is that even seemingly small or overlooked coins can hold immense value, especially when it comes to historical pieces like the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these coins in excellent condition, or if you find a copper variety or error coin, you could be in for a life-changing discovery. So, how can you tell if your 1944 Lincoln wheat penny might be worth a significant amount of money? The first step is to carefully examine the coin's condition. If it's been well preserved and shows minimal wear, it's worth getting it professionally graded. The grading process will help you determine the true value of your coin. You can also look for any signs of errors or unique characteristics that could set it apart from the rest. If you're unsure, consulting with a professional numismatist or coin expert is always a great idea. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It's a passion for history, art, and treasure hunting. The beauty of coin collecting is that you never know what you might find when you dig through your spare change or sift through a box of old coins. You could be holding a rare gem without even realizing it. Today we've got an answer for you. We're going to be taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. The coin that many people might overlook could be worth more than you think. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be astonished at just how much this seemingly simple penny could be worth today. Now, let's talk about the history of this coin. The Lincoln wheat penny, as you may already know, was introduced back in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, this penny became one of the most beloved and recognized coins in American numismatics. With its design showcasing the profile of Lincoln on the obverse side and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, the Lincoln wheat penny quickly became a symbol of the American spirit and its agricultural roots. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, which is what we're focusing on today, was produced during the final years of the wheat series. By this time, the design had become an integral part of American life, having been in circulation for nearly 50 years. So, what makes the 1957 edition stand out from the rest of the Lincoln wheat pennies produced during this era? The first thing to note is that the coin was issued at a time when the United States was experiencing significant economic growth in the post-World War II period. The economy was booming, and there was a strong demand for currency. As a result, the U.S. Mint struck millions of these pennies to meet the country's needs. However, as time passed and the U.S. Mint began transitioning to a different design in 1959, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny became one of the final issues of the iconic wheat design. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. To most people, a penny might seem like a trivial piece of currency, something that is easy to discard or forget about. However, in the world of coin collecting, pennies like the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny hold immense value. This coin, especially when in excellent condition, is sought after by collectors worldwide for several reasons, not the least of which is its historical significance, and the fact that it marks the end of an era. The most important factor that influences the value of any coin is its condition. This is where things get interesting. A 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in average or worn condition is still relatively common and typically worth only a few cents. However, when a coin is in better condition, say, uncirculated or nearly uncirculated, its value increases dramatically. A 1957 penny that has been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or other forms of wear, can fetch a much higher price from collectors. The grading system is crucial in determining a coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. So, if you find a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny that has been well preserved, it could very well fall into a higher grade, which would make it far more valuable than its counterparts in worse condition. Coins with higher grades, such as MS-63, MS-65, or even higher, are far rarer and much more desirable to collectors. But the value doesn't stop there. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is also notable for a few unique characteristics and variations that make it even more collectible. For instance, the mint marks of this coin play a crucial role in its rarity. The 1957 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint, and each of these mints produced pennies with different mint marks. Generally speaking, pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint don't have a mint mark at all, while the Denver Mint issues coins marked with a D, and those from the San Francisco Mint are marked with an S. Now, it's important to note that not all 1957 Lincoln wheat pennies are created equal. Some of them were struck with errors, some small, some significant, that can make them highly valuable. For example, a well-known error for the 1957 penny is the double die variety, where the coin was struck twice, causing the letters and numbers on the coin to appear doubled or blurry. This can make a coin extremely rare, and when found in excellent condition, such a penny can fetch a much higher price than a regular 1957 penny. Another factor to consider is the overall scarcity of high-quality examples. While millions of 1957 Lincoln wheat pennies were minted, finding one that's in perfect or near-perfect condition can be a real challenge. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, and many of them were subjected to years of wear and tear. So, when a coin like the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny appears in excellent condition, collectors take notice, and the price can go up accordingly. You may also want to consider the special appeal of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny as a part of a complete collection. For many coin collectors, the 1957 penny represents the final coin in a series that span almost 50 years. Owning a high-grade example of this coin could be the centerpiece of a collector's collection, which only adds to its value in the eyes of collectors. The historical significance of the 1957 penny cannot be overstated, as it marks the end of the Lincoln wheat series and the beginning of a new era for U.S. coinage, as the design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial penny in 1959. But let's get to the exciting part: the potential worth of your 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. If you've stumbled across one of these coins in excellent condition, particularly a variety with a mint mark, you might be sitting on a valuable treasure. A 1957 penny in excellent condition, graded as MS-65 or higher, can easily fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. If the penny is even rarer, say, a double die error or another minting anomaly, the price could skyrocket. In fact, the rarest and most highly sought-after versions of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny have sold for as much as $98,000. That's right, $98,000 for a single penny. It just goes to show that the value of a coin is determined not just by its face value, but by its rarity, condition, and any special characteristics it may have. A rare 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny could be worth a small fortune, especially if it's in pristine condition or has a rare error. So, how can you tell if your 1957 penny is one of these valuable specimens? The first step is to carefully examine the coin for any signs of wear, mint marks, or potential errors. If you think you might have something special, it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally graded by a certified numismatist. The grading process will provide an accurate value for your coin and help you understand its place in the world of coin collecting. To sum up, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny is a true gem for collectors and investors alike. It's a piece of American history that continues to captivate coin enthusiasts all over the world. If you're lucky enough to own a high-grade example or a coin with a rare error, you could be holding a treasure worth far more than its original face value. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny and want to learn more about rare coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy hunting, and who knows, maybe your next coin could be worth $98,000.